Hey y'all, so I'm back for my 2 month update. I just spent the last 5 minutes fiddling with my tripod because this angle is throwing me off, so I apologize. Probably just me. Anyway, 2 month update. I'm going to be looking down at my notes a lot, sorry. So the last couple weeks, I was going a bit out of my mind anxiety wise. I had a ton of mood issues, my poor kids and my poor husband having to hear about it. But anyways, so that was actually good and bad news. Well, not really any bad news. Bad news for them, bad news living it, but good news because when I spoke with my doctor about it, basically my body is starting to work correctly. My gut's healing up. I'm getting all the nutrition that I need and all of that, but I hadn't started tapering down my hormone supplements yet. So it's good news because now I'm getting to start bringing my hormone supplements down. Everything's working, but because I hadn't started doing that, I was starting to go crazy because I was getting too much of the hormone. So that's kind of cool. So for this next month, over the next couple weeks, that's what I'm going to be working on, is starting to taper off some of my hormone medicine, and that's really cool. Money saving in the long run, one less thing I have to deal with, and watching my body start finally working and doing what it's supposed to do is a really neat process, especially since I just spent the last decade with so many different medications that didn't work and a lot of cost involved there and many doctor's appointments for no reason. So I'm excited to start tapering that down and my mood going better. Because when I started everything, I started feeling so much better that when I, started coming back to the anxiety issues, it's really hard to keep going and being exciting about it when you're like, oh, it's all coming back again. But when he was explaining to me, everything's going to kind of move around till you get to where your body needs to be. So that was exciting to talk about with them. So for hormone stuff, what I had been using, I had stopped all my thyroid medicine. They never got anything to work, and it was because I have autoimmune related thyroid disease. It is not an iodine deficiency or any of that. It was all autoimmune related, so they were not treating me for that specific type of hypothyroid issue. So they could have thrown every medication they wanted to at me and it was never going to work. Anyway, it was just fluctuating my hormones and actually making them worse, which is why I was getting depressed and why they were having to give me depression medicine. So when I finally stopped taking all of the medications they were giving me that were not doing me any good, I actually did feel better for a little while, but then I became very estrogen dominant and just had a bunch of other hormone issues. And one of my doctors had actually put me on progesterone cream. Now, I had tried a very expensive compounding progesterone cream, and I ended up being able to take this. See if you can see it. I'm going the wrong way. Now, type. It's backwards, but I will link it down. It's very inexpensive. It lasts quite a while. I didn't need a whole lot of it, but I am estrogen dominant, so I do need this for my endometriosis. And as soon as I started taking progesterone, that was like a huge help. My bloating and water retention just shed. My face looked completely different. And I felt a lot better. I think I went from a size almost 10 shoe is what I had worked up to each pregnancy. And I went all the way back down to a 9. I hadn't been a 9 since basically my first menstrual cycle when I was a teenager. So all the hormones had just built up all the water retention. So progesterone might be something you want to talk to. I would talk to your provider. Don't just go out and get on any hormone supplements without, having your blood work taken and take something that you really need. But that worked really well for me. So if you're estrogen dominant, if you have endometriosis, you may want to look into that. And like I said, this brand did great for me. I get it at Amazon fairly cheaply. So that is what I'll be tapering off of. I use it twice a day, and so I'll be taking it off little by little. And because I have adrenal issues right now, I'm going to be going on this Adrenacom supplement, which I will also link down below. But I will not be going on this until I've dropped off this and my body gets to where I can tell it's either working for me or not working for me, so I know how much of the progesterone I either need to be on or don't need to be on. Then I will add this in, so I know. I'll start tapering up with this so I know how much I need to be on. So basically, this last visit, I was told, make sure you're tapering off, and you start slowly with your new supplements. Never go full on, go full off. It was literally driving me crazy, which I knew, and you know better, but it's good to have. That's why you go to the provider, so they remind you, hey, there's no overnight miracle. You got to work on it slowly, come off it slowly, let your body adjust. So that is what I'm working on this month. What else? So I've always had a problem with constipation. Yay. And a lot of that they would say was my thyroid, but when I do get that under control, I still have problems. So I use aloe juice for that, magnesium, calm magnesium for that. And because I had mentioned that I was using calm magnesium to help me, that kind of put a light bulb on, and we figured out to look into my iron levels, and I'm actually very high in iron. So another thing I'm going to be doing this month is giving blood so that I can get rid of excess iron, and see if that helps at all. So that's another thing I'll be working on, giving blood. What else? Everything is still going really great. My hands are great. My feet are great. I'm walking around. I am working out. Because I have adrenal issues, I have to make myself kind of chill when this camera's driving me nuts. Anyways, my husband is deployed right now, and I battle with anxiety over that. And one of the things when he leaves is I love to run. It gets me out of my mind. I get to, I don't think while I'm running, I'm just running. But because I have adrenal issues, I can't overexhaust myself. And I'll link more. We'll do a video on adrenal issues, and I'll link some information below. But basically, I need to slow down, do more yoga, do more walking, more meditating, which is really hard for a person like me because my brain goes and goes and goes. So I will be working on slowing down, going back to yoga, and not just running all the time. So I'll be working on that as well. But I am able to work out now, so that is awesome. So that's something new. Like I said, a year ago, I was stuck in a chair. I couldn't use my hands, couldn't use my feet. So my future didn't look great. I was scared that I was going to miss out of my children's playing, not be able to go on family hikes and all that. So this is awesome for me. So I'm still losing inches, still losing body fat. My weight, it's not terrible, so I'm not worried about it. But because my hormones are going through a bit of a mess right now, the weight's kind of stuck, but I'm still losing the inches and the fat loss, which is awesome because I'm really not eating too much different than I was before. I'm not having to be very strict about my diet and exercise. Every little bit is helping me feel better, but I'm not having to go out of my mind, writing down each little thing and going crazy like when you diet and try to lose weight. The weight on this treatment plan just naturally came off. I was less stressed, and so that was just a perk. It wasn't why I started this, though. It was just a perk that happened. And a lot of that was from the GI Max shake that I do every day. That helped with a lot of the bloating and excess water weight and everything that I was carrying in my gut. What else? So I think that pretty much covers it. Basically, we went over everything. Everything is still looking better, slowly getting back to where I need to be. And it's only been 2 months, and I've come a crazy, distance from where I was, where I couldn't even write. I couldn't write, and people, it wasn't legible. It was actually embarrassing for me to write anything. I couldn't use my hands. I couldn't open anything in the kitchen. I fell walking down our stairs. My legs just gave out. I fell out in the driveway and scuffed myself up pretty bad. It was getting really scary. I didn't want to hold my baby anymore and walk because I had fallen with her, and it was just getting scary. And this is a very simple process that I'm going through, healing the gut, doing blood work and figuring out what I'm lacking. And it's all so much easier, all so much less stressful, all so much cheaper than when I was going to a conventional doctor. So I really highly suggest everyone look into this. I'm going to link all my information back down at the bottom, and in my previous videos there's a ton of information. My doctor is actually going to be launching a website that people can come in and look in and figure out how to do this, and I'm excited to share that with y'all because I get a lot of people asking me, what do I need to do, how do I need to do this, how do I find a doctor. So I will link his information down at the bottom. But I think if I went through and I picked, the thing that has helped me the most is restoring my gut and healing it, because I had leaky gut syndrome. I was not getting the nutrition I needed. It didn't matter if I, drank 10 smoothies a day and just ate perfectly. I was not getting any of that. So now that my gut is healed and still healing, I'm just amazed at, my hair has grown like 3 inches in 2 months. And it's just crazy what your body can do when you support it and you're not throwing in all those unnecessary chemicals and living a toxic life. And I've made, quite a few changes that I know some people freak out when they're like, I can't go without this, I can't go without that. When you feel better and you see the change and other people are telling you, wow, you look completely different. I've had so many people this last month, comment on my weight loss that I didn't even realize, had happened. And, just, comment on how I'm showing up to do things more, where before I didn't feel good enough to leave my house. So when you feel better, you don't miss the junk food. You don't miss all the makeup out there that you can buy that really you shouldn't be putting on your skin. There is stuff out there that you can use, but it's just like the deodorant. All this stuff matters. Everything that you're putting on your body and in your body matters. And people can call me crazy if they want. All I know is I was stuck in a recliner for almost 2 years. I was losing the ability to walk and write and really eat. I couldn't eat without getting sick every day. And, it was scary to me. I was tired of hiding it from my family and being brave. I knew I was getting to a point where I couldn't hide it anymore. And it was time to make a change, and I'm glad I did. So people can call me crazy for drinking my tea and eating my vegetables all they want. It's working for me. The people around me can see it work. And I hope for you and I hope for your loved ones that if you have something that you're battling, any autoimmune disease, cancer, whatever it is you're fighting, depression, anxiety, I hope that you seek this out and, try it out. You're not going to lose anything. So if you have any questions or comments about what I'm doing, what you think might work for you, what wouldn't work for you, please get a hold of me. I would love to talk about it. So that's about it for now, and I will check up with you. I might check in a couple weeks. I may not. The next appointment I have is my 3rd month appointment. So I'm going to go give blood. I'm going to be switching out some of these supplements, and that's what I'll be working on. So comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll be glad to get back with you. Thanks, guys.